Shalom. Welcome to my video. You see the title of my video, the plagues are arriving in Great Babylon. Certain events that have taken place and are definitely shaping and leading the way toward the coming plagues that are prophesied to occur on Great Babylon. From the so-called benign but annoying to the very dangerous, leading to thermonuclear destruction of Great Babylon. So with that, we're going to get into it. Let's start. Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai. Call hello Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Wahab Kwa Kadosh. All praises, honor, glory, and power to Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Bahashem Yahweh Shai, our Lord and Savior. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. Much respect to the prophets and teachers of Great Millstone, that we through the Spirit cling in order to learn the new song, rightfully dividing the word to qualify to escape the day of the Lord Yahweh's visitation on Great Babylon. Great respect to the fellow believers, the Yakim and the Aquaf, who is the remnant of Israel, which includes the 144,000, and 1/3 mixed multitude promise mercy and salvation from our Lord. Well, I want to start off with a quick video about the visitation of the plague of cicadas. Unlike the frogs and other visitation of bugs, the cicadas seem to be they are welcome, according to Lucky. Listening to the news, they seem to be a welcome sight. But we're talking of what the way that it's explained. It's like it feels like I'm about to burp. That the cicadas, they usually come out of the ground about for one. There's two types of cicadas. One comes out of the ground every 13 years, and another one comes out of the ground every 17 years. And this particular time, both are coming out of the ground at the same time, which generate 1 million cicadas. But I digress. I'm going to show you a 5-minute clip. Now, it's going to be long because it's going to be educational, and I'm interested in what it has to say. So bear with me. Hope that you get something out of it. Let me share my screen. And let's get it.
If you were rattled out of bed this morning by the sound of cicadas, you were not alone. The creepy, crawly bugs are just starting to emerge. There are a lot of them, if you haven't noticed. As many as 1 trillion cicadas are invading parts of the Southeast and Midwest over the next month, thanks to 2 different breeds emerging at the same time this year. That's something we have not seen in more than 200 years. Lucky us. Kathy Park has our Sunday Focus.
Cicada-geddon has finally arrived, and these pesky critters are not flying quietly under the radar.
There are thousands.
Instead, they're causing a stir everywhere they land.
Don't get too creeped out by them. She gets creeped out by them.
From Georgia,
The 13-year cicadas are in.
to South Carolina,
Is anybody else in the South?
where they're taking over backyards.
They're everywhere. And they seem to really like our gazebo. I'm not sure why.
It might seem bad now, but just wait. 2 cicada broods will be spotted in more than a dozen states this spring, swarming the Midwest to the south. One group crawls out from the ground every 13 years, the other 17 years. This month, we're expecting a rare double emergence, something we haven't seen since the days of Thomas Jefferson. Experts predict more than 1 trillion bugs to emerge. Lined end to end, that's enough cicadas to reach the moon and back 33 times. Roughly 75 miles outside of Nashville, McMinnville is known as a nursery capital of the world.
Here we've got really a target-rich environment for them to try to lay their eggs.
Yeah.
And these young trees are vulnerable to damage from nesting cicadas. Jerry Blankenship grows 200,000 trees at his nursery, and these bugs keep him up at night.
They really like something about this size right here. Most of the time they go for something that's relatively soft, but they're looking for a certain size twig or branch to lay their eggs on.
Homeowners may want to consider netting as a way to protect the branches.
You can get cheesecloth or tobacco cloth. Like I said, you could actually have a sheet and lay it over it.
But as they stick around for the next 4 to 6 weeks, don't expect the cicadas to turn down the volume, as the males use their siren song to find a mate.
So the males are making the noise, and it's a little bitty buzz. You can hear them. It's like a kid's toy almost.
But their collective chorus can be as loud as a lawnmower or passing jet.
The noise level could potentially be harmful. It can exceed levels that OSHA would consider, safe in some areas.
It's already getting so loud in Newberry County, South Carolina, residents are reporting the noise to the sheriff.
We had a leap year. We had an eclipse. Now we've got cicadas everywhere.
They might be a nuisance, but they're harmless to humans and pets.
They're crawling all over. Does that scare you?
A little, and it tickles.
Soon, many states will be blanketed with bugs, so get ready for the free concert from your new neighbors.
And Kathy joins me now live, and we hope cicada free. Kathy, good morning. So if you do have a bunch of these cicadas in your backyard, beyond earplugs, what should you do?
Yeah. Hey, Joe, good morning to you. That's right. Well, first of all, take a deep breath because it's going to be okay. But experts say that you should probably keep the bug spray away because cicadas are actually good for the environment. And the spray will just be useless because there are just way too many cicadas out there. And the chemicals might actually kill off the good insects. And believe it or not, Joe, cicadas, as I mentioned, good for our ecosystem because they aerate the soil once they come out of the ground. And then when they die off and their bodies break down, it's actually nutrients for the soil. So think of it as free fertilizer. But if you haven't had this invasion, this swarm of cicadas just yet, something to keep in mind, as you heard in that story, netting is probably a good option for you. I'm holding tulle. This is something that ballet tutus are made out of. So you want to cover up those young trees. And keep in mind, the hole should be pretty small, less than 1/4 inch, because cicadas can probably crawl out, and keep it wrapped up, the tree wrapped up for a couple of weeks, probably until mid-June. But if you want a quick fix, Joe, another great option, a leaf blower. Want to just blow it all away. Get the job done.
I love that. All right, Kathy. And who knew? Tutus have two purposes. All right. Kathy Park, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday.
All right, as you can see, there's going to be a lot of cicadas roaming around. And Esau is typical. Esau finds the good in it. They don't see the prophetic. They don't see the prophecy that's involved in this plague. Although it's not like the frogs were in Egypt, is one of the signs from the Lord of things to come. So I have something else. Let's start. I have a few ads. A few editorials. Let's look over here. Okay. And so this is going to be not so enjoyable to the Edomites. Okay? But nevertheless, this is one of the plagues, which leads to the plague of war, violence, and other such things that's going to land in the earth. The new globalists want to send NATO troops into Ukraine and to use Western missiles to hit targets deep inside of Russia. These guys just say stuff. They just want to do something. It's as if they have absolutely no wisdom as to what that's going to cause. Okay, and of course, it's the globalists. The globalists are apparently trying to see how close they can get to the precipice without causing a cataclysmic nuclear war to erupt. Frankly, I don't think they care if they cause a nuclear war to erupt. They want to just get started bringing on their empire. They're telling us that momentum is building to send NATO's troops into Ukraine, and they want to allow Ukraine to use Western missiles to hit targets inside of Russia. Have they gone completely insane? They're literally dragging us to the brink of nuclear war. And once the Russians conclude that the nuclear war has become inevitable, they're not just going to sit back and see what happens. The Russians have been preparing for nuclear war for many years, as have we, the U.S. and other nations, because that seems to be it's like a game of tag. Everybody's trying to get nuclear weapons. Everybody's trying to build their ego up. Everybody's trying to be better than everybody else. So it's not just one-sided. The Russians have been prepared for nuclear war for many years, and they understand that whoever strikes first will have the best chance of surviving. It's always, it's interesting how they always point the finger at the other people as if they're not doing nothing. Next, the WHO's pandemic treaty and the bird flu crisis are both arriving at the same time. No, they're not arriving. You are bringing them at the same time. And this is a different plague. We just moved from the sweet plague of the so-called beneficial cicadas that when they died, they fertilize the soil and aerate the soil, But there are signs of bigger things to come. And then we just talked about the nuclear war that the elite wants us to skirt. They want the U.S. to send missiles to skirt next to the precipice of engaging in nuclear war. But the fact is, everybody's already doing too much, And now we're down to the third element: diseases, pandemic, flus, plague, the plague of, let's say, the plague of health. Health officials are, did I read that? The WHO's pandemic treatment, the WHO's pandemic treaty and the bird flu crisis are both arriving at the same time. Health officials are issuing very ominous warnings about the potential for an H5N1 pandemic among humans at the same time that the WHO is preparing for a vote on the global pandemic treaty at the 77th World Health Assembly at the end of this month. The global pandemic treaty will give the World Health Organization far more authority than it had during the last pandemic. And a lot of people are deeply concerned about how that power will be used during the next major health crisis. As you will see below, 2 more human cases of the bird flu have just been confirmed. If the bird flu mutates into a form that can spread easily from human to human, that will create an enormous amount of fear, and the death toll could potentially be catastrophic in such an environment. What sort of extreme measures would the World Health Organization decide to institute? Well, the prophecies dictate that you're right on track. You're instituting the rules to lead toward greater health, greater disease and famine and sickness throughout the land. So, at the meeting that they're going to go to, that they're going to have, the meeting is pretty much fixed. They're going to decide what to do and have a fake meeting and just solidify it. But it's funny how, it's not funny, but they think that everybody else is stupider than they are anyway. But the Lord put it in their mind to think that. That's pride. And with that is the big one coming. There have been more than 1,000 earthquakes in California and Nevada in the past 7 days. The Lord, via Matthew 24 and other scriptures, said that this was going to happen. And I like in this picture. It's on the Edomites. They're completely confused, like what the H-bomb is going on. Why we have so many earthquakes? Well, I tell you, because it's the last days. These are the signs that the earth is going to be beat down with earthquakes and all kind of phenomenon and tsunamis and all sorts of disasters as predicted, right on time. Scientists have warned us that California is way overdue for a major earthquake and that the big one could literally strike at any time. That is why I was so alarmed when the Los Angeles Times reported that 2 sets of earthquake swarms had just hit the state. After seeing that story, I went over to the Southern California Earthquake Data Center to check how many earthquakes have shaken the region during the past week. As I write this article, the total number of earthquakes in California and Nevada in the last 7 days is sitting at a grand total of 1,010. To me, whenever that number goes above 1,000, we're officially in the danger zone. Hopefully, there will not be a very large earthquake in California at any time soon. But when there is this much shaking going on, we should all be on the alert. And that's just the beginning. There's a lot of things going on. The earthquake is just more signs and wonders. And we, the hopefully elect, are pretty well, we know the signs, we know what it means. And so when there's an earthquake, we know that's just one step closer to the Lord coming and redeeming his elect of hopefully I can be counted as one of those elect along with the hopefully elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3 mixed multitude. Hoping to be among that number. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else I want to get into. We'll jump on this. We are being warned that nanobots will be flowing through our bodies by 2030 and will be used to connect our brains to the internet. And we can see that they are really attempting to fulfill that agenda with the use of COVID-19. Oops, lucky, C-19. My bad. I don't know where I read this story, but one of the organizations, I know it wasn't Pfizer, it was the other one, that they admitted that in that vaccine was nanobots that they were shooting in people. And nanobots can control the nervous system, the immune system, and it's an element of control that can be operated on and influenced by whoever has the switch, wherever they are. So I wouldn't be Sure, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Once thousands of nanobots are zipping around inside your body, will you still be in control of your mind and emotions, or will the nanobots be running the show? You know, they say nanobots, I say demons. According to Google, a nanobot is a hypothetical, very small self-propelled machine, especially one that has some degree of autonomy and can reproduce. That's crazy. Scientists here in the United States have been working on nanobots that can travel through our bodies at astonishing speeds, delivering medicines to targeted locations, even enter our brain cells. Eventually, researchers hope to use nanobots to connect our brains directly to the internet. I realize that all of this sounds quite crazy, but as you will see below, everything I am sharing with you has been documented. This is insane. Why not take that money and invest it into nature, healthier foods? But that's not Esau's job. He's an expert at doing what he's doing, and I'm just going to let it go at that. So let's get into some scriptures. Joel, we're going to start with Joel. I'm going to read all the way up to Joel 12 and bring some precepts out. The word of the Lord that came to Joel, the son of Bethuel. Hear this, ye old man. Hear this, ye old man, and give ear, all ye inhabitants of the land. Hath this been in your days, or even the days of your fathers? Give it to me. Slocky. Hear this, ye old men, and give ear, all ye inhabitants of the land. Hath this been in your days, or even in the days of your fathers? Tell your children of it, and let your children tell their children, and their children another generation. That which the palmer worm hath left hath the locust eaten, and that which the locust hath left the cankerworm hath eaten, and that which the cankerworm hath left the caterpillar hath eaten. Away, ye drunkards, and weep and howl, all ye drinkers of wine, because of the new wine, for it is cut off from your mouth. For a nation is come up upon my land, strong and without number, whose teeth are teeth of a lion, and hath the teeth of a great lion. He hath laid my vine waste, and barked my fig tree. He hath made it clean bare, and cast it away. The branches thereof are made white. And this is relating to what Esau, what the Gentiles have done to the children of the Most High, who are the vine. And Esau has made us waste through captivity. You know, they destroy our temples, destroy our very lives. The Israelites are at the very bottom of the tree line here, at the bottom of society. And all nations are pretty much suffering under this dog, but the target is Jacob. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Joel 6. Let me see if I can. I want to get a precept. Jeremiah 14. 3. Mercy, the word of the Lord that hath come to Jeremiah concerning the death. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. And the nobles have sent their little ones to the waters. They came to the pits and found no water. They returned with their vessels empty. They were ashamed and confounded and covered their heads, because the ground is chaff, for there was no rain on the earth. The plowmen were ashamed, and they covered their heads. And so this is the so-called shape of the so-called Native Americans, African Americans, and the Hispanic Americans. This is what Esau has done to the Lord's chosen, his chosen nation. And 1/3 is going to be saved from it. So let's go to Joel 1:8. Lament like a virgin, girded with sackcloth for the husband of the youth. The meat offering and the drink offering is cut off from the house of the Lord. The priest, the Lord's Yahweh ministers mourn. The field is wasted. The land mourneth, for the corn is wasted. The new wine is dried up. The oil languishes. Be ye ashamed, O ye husbandmen. Howl, O ye vine dressers, for the wheat and for the barley, because the harvest of the field is perished. I'm going to go on to 13. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking at my dog to see what he's doing. Okay. This is cry to the Lord. Gird yourself and lament, ye priests. Howl, ye ministers of the altar. Come, lie all night in sackcloth, ye ministers of my power. For the meat offering and the drink offering is withholden from the house of your power. Sanctify ye your feast. Call a solemn assembly. Gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land into the house of the Lord your power. Cry unto the Lord. Destruction from the Lord. Alas, for the day of the Lord is at hand. And as a destruction from the Almighty shall come. I'll start reading from the book. Alas, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall come. Now that warrants a good look. 15. I'm using both of these at the same time. Okay. All right. Let's see. 13:9. Oops. ISA 13:9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. And this includes the Edomites. It includes all nations and starting with the 2/3. Alas, for that day is great, so that there is none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of thee, but they shall serve the Lord Yahweh, their power, and David, their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Therefore, fear not, thou not, sluggish. Therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations. Whether I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they shall spoil thee. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee I will give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord Yahweh, because they call thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. And so these plagues are the beginning of things to come. But Esau looks at these things and tries to analyze them in an intellectual way, not a righteous way. For instance, with the cicadas, this is the first time that both broods of cicadas were on the planet at the same time. Esau looks at that like, ooh, it's amazing. You know, they're fun. They're crawling all over me. But hopefully, let those that have eyes can see a sign from the Most High. You know, this is the beginning. You know, this one didn't hurt, but the next one coming is going to hurt. You know, although the cicadas, they do hurt agriculture. And having 1 trillion cicadas floating around, that can't be enjoyable. But Esau, they don't understand what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to read Jeremiah 13:18. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. And of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. And see, that's what's happened to Esau. He don't. Well, I believe the elite, they know it's coming. They know that they had to enter slavery, but the average Edomites, they don't know. They're looking at all these things that's happening on the earth, and they just think that they're just man-made, man-afflicted. But no, what they don't know is that man's moves are directed by the Lord. So all these moves that happen on earth, it's the Lord moving the chess pieces and forcing Esau to go forward, with his certain agenda. He thinks that he's right on point, and he is. He just don't know what he's on point for. He's on the Lord's program. This is the Lord's movie, the Lord's play. So he's on point to go into slavery. He thinks that when all these missiles, like right now, he's trying to, let me see. Oops. Okay, wait a minute. He's trying to change brain. He's trying to take the brain and make it electronic. One of his great wonders, which is spoken about in the scriptures. And here, the pandemic, the treaty, all these things are going to fall on his own head. These things, the Lord made the earth for the Israelites, as stated in, I believe it's Esdras, second Esdras. I don't know the exact. It might be 16:6 and something, chapter 6, but I'm probably wrong. But the Lord made the world for the Israelites, which means that he's going to kill or put to death billions. So how else do you think he's going to do that? He's going to use his sword, the Edomites, to put to death billions. It's the same. It's the same as him putting to death billions, because Esau, Satan, those spirits, they work for the Most High. So they think that this agenda is theirs. I mean, look at this. They want to shoot a missile, a nuclear missile. Well, they want to bring a nuclear missile on the stage. They're telling him, okay, get off the bench. Come on, get on the floor. Once you do that, of course, other nations are going to start sending off nuclear missiles. If I could be wrong, but didn't the Turkish president say, no, it was Iran. They say that, I think it was Iran, that the slightest retaliation or attack, they was gonna send a nuclear weapon. But I think that they rescinded it because when Israel, on April 19th, when Israel did that second flimsy attack on them, they just let it, they just didn't do anything. But they did say that they would engage in nuclear warfare. They were going to send a nuclear weapon. But see, in this case, if somebody shoots a nuclear weapon somewhere, ain't no way they're just going to let it ride. With it. Well, they came close, but they didn't come close enough for it to shoot back. No, these demons are trying to offset or begin World War III. And frankly, the elect can't wait because we know what it means. It means that the Lord is going to come and he's going to remove Jacob out of it before Jacob is involved. That means that it's time. That means that the Lord's going to come, and as in 1 Corinthians, we're going to be taken up and we're going to be changed. That's what it means. But these guys are in their own head playing with their own silly games. But it's amazing that they're that I want to say that that's, well, I can't say that because they're just doing what the Lord trained them to do. Okay. Alas, for the day the Lord is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. And that is a fact. It is not the meat cut off before our eyes, yea, joy, gladness from the house of the Most High. The seed is rotten under their clods. The garners are laid desolate, and the barns are broken down, for the corn is withered. How does the beast groan? The herds of the cattle are perplexed, because they have no pasture. Yea, the flocks of sheep are made desolate. O Lord, to thee I will cry, for the fire hath devoured the pastures of the wilderness, and the flame hath burnt all the trees of the field. The beasts of the field cry also unto thee, for the rivers of waters are dried up, and the fire hath devoured the pastures of the wilderness. And that's these nuclear weapons, they're going to burn everything. There's nothing going to be alive when those missiles hit. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain, that all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Let me see if I can get a precept for that. Let's see. What is that? Oh, okay. Let me see. Jeremiah. No. Declare ye in Judah, and publish in Jerusalem, and say, blow ye the trumpet in the land. Cry, gather together, and say, assemble yourself, let us go into the defenced cities. And what's the defenced cities? I think I want that. I wanted to get it in here. Jeremiah. Declare ye in Judah, and publish in Jerusalem, and say, blow ye the trumpet in the land. Cry, gather together, and say, assemble yourselves, and let us go into the defenced cities. Let's see. What's up with that? I want to see what defense cities mean. Defense cities hold fenced fortress, defenced, strong cities. Although I feel something's telling me something stronger than that. Fortification, a castle, fortified city, figuratively a defender, most fenced fortress, most stronghold. So what are we saying? That we're going to go into the fenced city who's Esau's? Yeah. Let me come back here. Can I go again? Let us go declare ye Judah and publish in Jerusalem, and say, blow ye the trumpet in the land, cry together, and say, assemble yourselves, and let us go into the fenced cities. Set up the standard toward Zion, retire, stay not, for I will bring evil from the north, and a great destruction. The lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy cities shall be laid waste without inhabitant. And that is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, is coming to these defense cities to just lay the Gentiles to waste, lay the land to waste. He's coming to redeem his people and to destroy this evil, wicked system. For this gird you with sackcloth, lament and howl, for the fierce anger of Yahweh, the Lord, is not turned back from us. And it shall come to pass at that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that the heart of the king shall perish, and the heart of the princes, and the priests shall be astonished, and the prophets shall wonder. Then say I, Lord Yahweh, surely thou hast greatly deceived this people and Jerusalem, saying, ye shall have peace, whereas the sword reacheth unto the soul. And at that time shall it be said to his people and to Jerusalem, a dry wind of the high places in the wilderness toward the daughter of my people, not to fan, not to cleanse. Even a full wind from those places shall come unto me. Now also will I give sentence against them. Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. O Jerusalem, wash thine heart from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved. How long shall thy vain thoughts lodge within thee? For a voice declareth from Dan, and published affliction from Mount Ephraim. Make ye mention to the nations, behold, publish against Jerusalem that watchers come from a far country and give out their voice against the cities of Judah. As keepers of a field are they against her round about, because she hath been rebellious against me, saith the Lord. Thy way and thy doings have procured these things unto thee. This is thy wickedness, because it is bitter, because it reacheth unto thy heart. So the Lord is going to come, and he's going to destroy Great Babylon. But first he's going to punish the Israelites, the 2/3, which are a big part of this, which is included in the day of the Lord returning. Let me see if there's anything else I want to know. That's pretty much. I just wanted to identify or emphasize that these plagues are coming with significance. You see the plague of the cicadas, which could by all means be a distraction to distract you from the fact that these guys are still waging war. They had these 7 day, in 7 days, there was 6 coups, of which a president was killed. I think it was the prime minister also. I could be wrong. But that's in the news. The MOTB is gradually walking toward this nation. Other nations are fully on board, but all these things that are occurring, that are going on, and they are keeping it to themselves. The banks are closing down. Bank accounts are disappearing. The food is still being destroyed. They're not talking too much about the food supplies. It's more of a concern of the word, because certain nations are working on trying to destroy the Bible, overtake the Bible, or make it illegal. Well, the U.S. is trying to make the Bible illegal. I don't remember what state that was, but they got the anti-sin law, which is, see, all this stuff is insane. If you have eyes to see and you have full clarity of understanding, you look at all these unfounded laws and rules that they're pushing in order to protect themselves, and people see it. They can't hide themselves, but it's the Lord's will that these things be done, and so they're going to be done, and it's going to bring about the big famines, the MOTB, and then Jacob trouble, and then the Lord is going to come, and He's going to manifest. He's going to come in great glory to the earth and start destroying this kingdom. It's already been destroyed. It's already been broken down, but He's going to finish it off. In the scriptures say in 1 hour, He's going to destroy it, and He's going to call up the elect, and we're going to see it. Hopefully, I can count on one of them, but the elect is going to see the damage that the Lord is going to do to our enemies and bring the Gentiles, namely the first fruits of Gentiles, the Amalek, into slavery, through the hand of Jacob, the Israelites. And I pray that I'm amongst that elk to be one of those spiritual powers to go and get those demons. So I pray that you was edified. It feels like I was all over the place, but I pray that you got something from what I tried to share with you. I am but a sheep that's trying to share my part, and to maybe put a small patch, a small little plus sign with the ministry. But I recommend that any and everybody, please go and listen to the elders of Great Millstone, the prophets of Great Millstone. They have the 100% truth, which is life savings. So with that, I'm going to say Prakatah Yahweh, Prakatah Yahweh Shai, Kwame Yasharala, and Abba Abba. Until the next time, Shalom. Oh boy, where am I?